D11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
From Spartan Stadium at North Schuylkill High School, Thursday night lights action as the host Spartans take on the Eagles of Blue Mountain. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's broadcast alongside Matt Avantro. I'm Matt Marcus. This is the D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Coach, both of these teams come in at 4-3. They're 3-2 in their league play. It's kind of a rivalry game between these two teams, and you know, it's getting late in the season, so every one of these is important when you start to look at seedings and district playoffs just around the corner.
And we talked to both coaches about that as well. The rivalry, you know, kind of the north of the mountain versus south of the mountain, you know, kind of the battle for the mountain, as Coach Hall mentioned it. And both teams are evenly matched coming into this game. As you said, both 4-3, both like to rely on the running game offensively, both like to rely on some stingy defense and aggressive defense. And as you said, playoff atmosphere. This is definitely playoff atmosphere, especially as the weather starts to break. Cool weather up here tonight. Officials in long sleeve shirts, coaches in sweatshirts. It's definitely a quick changeover from the weather we had last week.
You mentioned the rushing game for both of these teams, and you know, both rely on the experienced offensive line that coaches love to have, but North Schuylkill just under 1,900 rushing yards on the season. Blue Mountain just over 1,400. Of course, they also have some quarterbacks that, if given the opportunity, can put the ball in the air. But again, we talk about the balanced. You want to have a balanced attack, but with some of these numbers, I would say it's hard to get a balanced attack when you can run it as well as these teams can.
And I agree with you. I think North Schuylkill, that's their MO. They like to run the ball. They want to go behind that experienced line. They have a quality quarterback in Mengel. He can spread the ball around. He's a senior, multi-year starter. But on the other side, Blue Mountain kind of sticking to the running game as they break in and get their sophomore quarterback a little bit more experience. Kirby started a couple games last year, late in the season, came back this year, won the starting job, and Coach Kutz had mentioned how he's starting to build into a confident quarterback, seeing the whole field. And as he sees the whole field, I think that allows Blue Mountain to open up their playbook a little bit.
We mentioned that both of these teams are 4-3, but when you look at the teams they've lost to, both of these teams have lost to Northwestern Lehigh and Southern Lehigh. North Schuylkill lost to Notre Dame, and Blue Mountain lost to Schuylkill Haven. No slouches in any of those losses.
Not at all. And if my math is correct, I think between those four teams, we're talking about one loss. Three undefeated teams, and I believe Notre Dame has one loss. Notre Dame's not the one. Teams are undefeated. You're right. So, again, no slouch, and both coaches felt that schedule has them battle-tested. And that 4-3 record, you kind of throw that out the window now. You get ready for the postseason. If you're a battle-tested team and healthy, as Coach Hall said, they're healthy right now. If they can stay healthy, both of these teams can make some noise come playoff time.
Tell you what, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll give you some players to watch. We'll give you some keys to the game, and we'll get you set for North Schuylkill and Blue Mountain. This is the D11Sports.com High School Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers all-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile. Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
Moments away from the start of the game between North Schuylkill and Blue Mountain. Let's talk about some of the keys to the game provided by our coaches this evening. As you do see North Schuylkill taking the field.
And we'll start with Blue Mountain, the visiting team. Coach Kutz talked about preventing big plays. North Schuylkill has that experienced offensive line. They have the experience at quarterback. They have experience in the running game. They can't get behind early. They can't give up big plays, whether it's in offense or special teams. And they need to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a battle that is going to be tested all night long. It may go one way early on. It may change back later on. But the winner of that line of scrimmage battle, I think, comes out of this game with a victory. As for North Schuylkill and Coach Hall, they need to create turnovers. They need to get the ball out of Blue Mountain's hands. Blue Mountain has a lot of speed on the perimeter in Gears and Hoover. If they can get loose, they can pose problems to this North Schuylkill defense. And they need to be consistent on special teams, making sure they do not give up any big runs.
They're doing a moment of silence here at the stadium, and then there will be the national anthem. So we're going to pause as well.
The years. Best known, however, for his legendary status as a Spartans head wrestling coach for 23 years. Coach Cesari's impact garnered local, state, and even national recognition for the North Schuylkill School District and our wrestling program. Cesari had a career record of 357, 31, and 2, and coached the Spartans to 2 PIAA championships, one in 1983 and the other in 1989. Cesari was named Coach of the Year multiple times throughout the Schuylkill League, District 11, and for the state of Pennsylvania, and was inducted to various sports Hall of Fames, both locally and statewide. Over his career, Coach Cesari also spent time on the sidelines as an assistant coach with the Spartan football team. In 2015, the North Schuylkill School District proudly named our gymnasium the Cesari Hope Gymnasium in his honor, along with Lady Spartan basketball coach LaFay Hope. Please join us now in a moment of silence as we honor the life and legacy of Coach Joseph Cesari, Sr. Thank you. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem by the North Schuylkill Marching Band.
Which one? Copy. I'll just lose it.
We were giving you the keys to the game a moment ago. That was brought to you by New York Life. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact our office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. All right, Coach, we went from the keys to the game. How about some players to watch this evening for both of these teams?
And we talked about Cohen Kirby, the sophomore quarterback for Blue Mountain and Coach Kutz. Started late in the season last year, and each week has been progressing and getting better and better and better. And what Coach Kutz has mentioned is that has allowed their offense to become more dynamic, more diverse. They haven't had to rely on the running game as much, and they're able to get the ball out to their playmakers on the outside where they have the speed. For Coach Hall in North Schuylkill, it's Luke Miller. Luke Miller, we asked Coach, what does he not do? And jokingly, Coach Hall said he doesn't kick. They could use a kicker.
They could.
And I know if Coach Hall could go back a couple weeks, he would like to have had a kicker against Notre Dame. But he said Luke Miller is just a great all-around leader. He's able to run the ball. He's very successful that way. He doesn't look overly big when you get up next to him. However, he runs with a lot of power, a lot of strength. And you're going to see a lot of good vision, a lot of great balance out of him tonight.
Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. So it looked like Blue Mountain won the coin toss and deferred. When we look at these two teams and the offenses, and specifically an offense that can control the game and control that clock, would you want to start with the ball, or do you want to set the tone and see what you can do on defense?
I always like to start on defense because I wanted to know if we can get a quick stop and we can flip the game, and now all of a sudden we're in control of what's happening. We're in control of being able to drive down the field. And then if we can finish the first half strong and then start the second half with the ball, you have a chance to put teams away.
Josh Hoover is the kicker. You mentioned him as one of the speedy wide receivers as well.
It's so nice, Coach Kutz has mentioned, it's so nice when you're able to have two members of a state qualifying 4x1 relay team at your wide receiver positions in Gears and Hoover.
How about it? Luke Miller and Landon Smith back to receive. We are underway. On the near side, it's Smith that comes up just inside the 20-yard line, across the 30. Gets past the 35-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans on senior night here at Spartan Stadium. Going with the black uniforms tonight, trimmed in red. Nice clear white numbers for us to see from the visiting sideline. Blue Mountain, the road white uniforms, but of course lots of blue as the name would suggest. Caden Mangle, we didn't talk about him much. He's the quarterback, a very experienced quarterback here for the Spartans. First play is a handoff to Luke Miller. Gets to the 40-yard line. Good pickup on 1st down.
North Schuylkill comes out, 2 tight ends, multiple blockers, extra linemen on the field to allow Luke Miller and this offense to get going. One of the things I'd like to see here, number 19, Xavier McNally, is listed at 6'7", 235-pound sophomore wide receiver, and he's all of 6'7" when we're down on the field.
Handoff does go to Miller. He's going to pick up 2 this time, out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
And if you're not familiar with North Schuylkill, this is what they like to do. They like to grind out yards. They get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, 3 to 4 yards on 2nd down. Here they're a little bit behind that, and we get a look at the defense that's coming in. And one guy I want to point out, number 33, Reese Miller. I got to see him early in the season against Southern Lehigh, and this guy's motor doesn't stop. He's all over the field, and you can expect to see him make a lot of plays.
Luke Miller's motor didn't stop there. Took it across midfield to pick up the DM2 security 1st down. Brought down by Chase Gears, defensive back, and also one of those speedy wide receivers we'll see on the other side. Interesting that you highlighted a wide receiver. We don't see them very often, but there's an opportunity. The first pass is incomplete. That was intended for Landon Smith. With a team that has rushed for over and now over 1,900 yards, the wide receivers are more for decoration, but keep that open because you do have some good ones for North Schuylkill, as you mentioned.
And I always thought if I could get a 6'7" guy to play wide receiver, you get down inside the 20-yard line, you just throw a jump ball to him.
Absolutely.
He has to be able to out-jump everybody back there.
Handoff to Miller, up the middle, tries to break a tackle, gets towards the 40-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but third and short coming up for North Schuylkill.
And that puts North Schuylkill's offense right on schedule about where they want to be, third and short, being able to pick that up. And potentially, if you don't get it, they're still in great position to maybe go for it on fourth down and pick it up.
Well, you know they're not going for a field goal.
We know that.
And at this point, it's not worth going for a punt. So probably 4-down territory. We'll see what happens on the run from Miller. He's going to get across that line to pick up the DM2 security first down.
And that's 5 carries for Luke Miller early in this game, 1 incomplete pass. So as we talked about, sticking to that running game, sticking to Luke Miller, having him do it with his legs on the ground.
2 wide receivers come to the near side. Miller in the backfield. Going to fake the handoff. Mangle to the near side, hits the tight end. He's going to get across the 30-yard line. A good pickup on first down. That's Caden McGraw who came across for that reception.
And as Caden McGraw, he's one of those guys, he's the blocker. He's a lead blocker. He's the kick-out guy. And you use him in a play-action setting, fake to Miller, leak McGraw out in the flat, and by the time everybody on the defense recognizes it, they're about 2 yards behind.
Empty backfield. Mangle looking left, throws, complete to Miller. And that is enough for another DM2 security first down. North Schuylkill just moving right down the field.
We mentioned about how Miller can do a lot of things. He's their third leading receiver on the team, that being his 13th reception. And the leader has 15, so he's closing in on being the leading rusher and leading receiver.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line. That was a pickup of 5. Motion man, fake to him, handoff. No, it's a fake to Miller. Hitting Smith across the middle, broke a tackle and into the end zone for the 23-yard touchdown. And North Schuylkill strikes first.
That was real good play design. They get Luke Miller going one way. They bootleg the opposite way. They have McNally out blocking in front of Smith, who comes free. Smith's coming out of the backfield, and you can see he breaks the one tackle, McNally getting a block, and he runs that in for the touchdown. A good play design by North Schuylkill, and as we talked about earlier, not having a kicker, although coming close to having a kicker, they're going to go for 2, but Coach Hall did mention there is a chance they're going to kick an extra point.
Pitch to Miller, goes to the far side, and right on in for the 2-point conversion. 8:33 remaining in the first quarter. It is 8-0 Spartans.
And that was a signature drive by North Schuylkill. That is what their offense is built to do. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. But then they fool you with some play action, 2 play action plays to get the ball out to their wide receivers, out in space, and with everybody crowded up on the boxes, try to stop Luke Miller in that running game. They get some space out in the perimeter, and they make you pay for it.
Ironically enough, the 2 completions were to running backs.
That is correct.
Caden Mangle, the quarterback, he's another one who seems to do it all. He will be handling the kickoff duties. Hoover and Gears deep to receive for the Eagles. There is the kick. And a one hop to Gears, gets it about the 10-yard line, right up the middle. Trying to break one tackle and gets across the 25. It'll be first and 10. We'll see the offense for Blue Mountain for the first time today. The market at the 23-yard line. Ironically, that's where North Schuylkill just scored from. And we'll have a chance to see Cohen Kirby, sophomore quarterback. Got a couple of starts late last year. With Brady Foose behind him, he's going to get the handoff towards the far side. He's going to pick up a few. About a gain of 4, we'll say. Should be 2nd and 6.
We talked about North Schuylkill's offensive line. We can also talk about Blue Mountain's offensive line. Kurt Kramus, Jesse Strauss, Vaughn Helverson, Ryan Clemens, Dylan Foose, brother of Brody Foose, who just ran that ball. Those 5 have been a solid unit since the beginning part of the season. They continue to grow and continue to improve for Coach Kutz.
Take the handoff. Kirby intended for Gears, but he was out of bounds and it was not complete.
And I think Kirby was looking for one of his running backs to slip out in the flat short of where Gears was, and he didn't get him. And late, he had to go to Gears, and by then it was too late. We take a look at North Schuylkill's defense. One of the guys in the middle, David Ortiz, number 58. He's a guy that Coach Hall had mentioned as he's going to go. He's going to make a lot of plays, and he's going to eat up a lot of blocks, which is going to free up their linebackers.
Whistle blown and a flag thrown. Substitution on the offense. So 3rd and 7 goes to 3rd and 12. Ball's at the 27-yard line now. A little off on the starting position. The scoreboard had not changed yet.
It's something that Blue Mountain can't afford to do early in the game is get behind in the sticks, cause penalties where there's a lack of communication. Whoever was subbing in did not sub out the offensive player. They ended up having 12 on the field.
Carter Smith, the running back. He's going to get the handoff, breaks one tackle, pick up decent yardage, but he was tripped up. Looked like he was about to break it for some decent yardage, but it's going to be 4th down. And that 5-yard penalty was a killer. It's 4th and 9 from the 31.
That's a safe play for Blue Mountain, running a draw to the running back, seeing if they could just sneak him out, which they almost did. He was able to break one. If he breaks that second tackle, I think he does pick up the 1st down. But again, the first drive, not what they wanted, but definitely something they can build on.
Preston Whalen to punt, Luke Miller to receive. And he's going to let that one bounce safely to about the 25-yard line where the Spartans will take over.
Initially on that first drive, North Schuylkill had a lot of success running the ball, yes, but more so in the passing game. So it'd be interesting to see if they come out early in this drive and get the ball out to the perimeter in the passing game, or do they just go the same way, stick to the running game, get down to the opposite side of the field, and then open it up a little bit more.
Well, if they can get the yardage that they've been getting on play after play,
I think you stick with the running game.
Would imagine you do that and then use that to open things up in the passing game. It is a handoff to Miller. Bounces out to the near side, breaks a tackle. He's got one man to beat. He's in front of him to the 30-yard line, and he will take it all the way. 75 yards on the first play. We didn't get a DM2 security 1st down. The Spartans got a touchdown, but is that one coming back?
It looks like it's coming. I don't see a flag.
But I see dejected players walking back. It's a legal formation. But, man, what a run. That's not going to count.
What a run is exactly right, because he was stopped in the backfield. He was pushed back. Linemen were pushed back. He bounces outside, shows that vision, gets a burst of speed to get through a small hole, and then takes it the rest of the way, separating from players.
And the guy he beat was Josh Hoover, who we had been talking about with that speed.
I mentioned to you how I saw earlier a video talking about the top 100-meter sprinters in District 11. I forgot to mention Luke Miller was on that list. Obviously, he showed that right there.
You can see that. He's going to get the handoff again, go to the same spot, breaks one tackle, and he is brought down after a gain of about 6, we'll say. Actually, a little bit more than that.
And I like early in this game, I like what Luke Miller's doing. He doesn't take any hits directly to his body. He always puts himself in a position where the hit glances off of him as he's going down. He doesn't take a full straight-on hit, which come postseason, that's going to be great to be healthy.
2nd and 6, handoff to Miller right up the gut. Looks like he'll be just shy of the first down.
I think he's going to be about a yard short. But again, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Exactly where North Schuylkill wants to be.
Angel Ortiz comes in at running back, number 25. Fullback McGraw in front of him. Ortiz to the right of Mengel. He's going to get the handoff. Does he get the yard? He does. And an extra one to boot. It is a DM2 security first down for the Spartans.
All the focus goes to Luke Miller, goes to Ortiz, goes to Caden Mengel. But you can't have that success running the ball without those front 5, without the tight ends, without the fullbacks in McGraw. Right? You have to have a solid group. And as we were out there on the field earlier, who's the coach working with that group? It was Coach Hall.
That's right.
He's making sure that group is ready to go.
Ortiz stays out there, gets the handoff again. A little hesitation, breaks a tackle, spins, and he's brought down by Hoover. But after he picks up another DM2 security first down for North Schuylkill.
This is a great play to show young running backs. Ortiz does a nice job of being patient. He gets behind his lineman in the hole, and then all of a sudden he waits, and then the hole opens up, and he's able to skirt through and pick up big yards.
Miller's back out there. He gets the handoff, comes to the near side, cuts back, drops short of the 45-yard line, but into Blue Mountain territory. It'll be 2nd and about 4 for the Spartans.
We talked early about the keys to the game and who's winning that line of scrimmage battle. And currently you have to put the edge to North Schuylkill and what they're able to do offensively up front, freeing up a lot of open space for Luke Miller and Ortiz.
Ortiz comes in. Julian Nelson, wide receiver, goes wide to the far side. Smith in the slot. Mangel's going to take it himself behind the lead block. Gets close to the first down marker and then some, crossing the 40-yard line. DM2 security first down for North Schuylkill. Design run all the way there with the quarterback keeper. And now Ortiz comes out. So does McGraw. And it is Luke Miller that comes in. And a timeout is called, it appears, by Blue Mountain. DM2 Security is a locally owned and operated security company presently serving most all of Pennsylvania. They provide all phases of security services for your home and business. They offer free estimates and have very competitive pricing and superior customer service. Let DM2 Security start protecting you today. Check them out on the web at dm2security.com. It's a small price to pay for your peace of mind. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury. And if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. So Blue Mountain calls the timeout there. Put your coaching hat back on. What are you trying to position, settle the defense down a little bit?
I think more so settle them down. But for Blue Mountain, I think what they need to do is they need to get their linebackers and second-level guys off blocks quicker and allow them to get to where they need to be.
Broken play there. Looked like Mengel wanted to go deep. Could not find anybody open and was dropped for a loss by Vaughn Helverson.
As you said, he was looking deep. He was looking down the field, and the Blue Mountain secondary covered well. Only rushing 4, and that 4 got some pressure on him, flushed him out of the pocket a little bit, and then Helverson comes through and brings him down for the sack.
2nd and 13 from the 42-yard line. Miller goes far side. He's going to get to about the 35. So it's a little longer than that 3rd and 2, but still in this position, you probably figure 4-down territory unless there was a loss of yardage, and even then maybe they go for it.
Correct. So I think if you're Coach Hall and you're calling the offense, you're looking at this. This is like a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. If you can get into 4th down and 2, 4th down and 3, you're definitely going for it. But North Schuylkill, what they're doing is getting a lot of 2-on-1 blocks on the play side. And then it's the second level guys that aren't coming off.
Well, Miller's going to get that first down and then some to the far side. It's not a 75-yarder like we thought earlier, but 34 yards, and either way, they're ending up with 6.
And you can see there's nobody outside in the secondary, but you're getting 2-on-1 blocks up top. You're getting edge blocks, and then the receivers are getting on and holding and sustaining their blocks. Those defensive backs for Blue Mountain have to get off those blocks to help in that tackling.
They will go for 2. It is 14-0 at the moment. Offense shifts. Mangle rolls to his left, and he's going to get brought down by Reese Miller. You talked about him in the open. And Reese Miller came right through the line and kept it, those 2 points off the board. So 14-0, 2:26 left in the first.
Not quite sure what North Schuylkill was trying to do. They had 3 receivers lined up that side, and they had Luke Miller coming out as a lead blocker. So it looked like Mangle was trying to run, but then also looking down into the end zone to try to find a receiver, but they were all running to the opposite side of the field. But again, you'll see Reese Miller. He'll play whether it's a 14-0 game, it's a 28-0 game, or if it's a 14-13 game. You'll see him play the same way all game long.
Mangle to kick again. It's Cole Luckenbill and Chase Gears deep. It's going to drop short, but rolls into the hands of Luckenbill, takes to the far side, breaks one tackle, gets to the outside. A good return out past the 40-yard line. And Blue Mountain in pretty good field position to start their second possession.
It's hard to believe with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, this is only their second offensive possession.
They would have had it a lot quicker if not for that illegal formation.
That's true, yes.
But then another North Schuylkill drive of just methodically getting down the field until you're able to break one loose. Three wide receivers. Kirby's going to take it himself behind the lead block, and he's not going to get much if he gets any at all. Carter Smith tried to help things out, but it's only going to be a pickup of 1, 2nd and 9.
See a lot of gray jerseys surrounding the ball and surrounding Kirby on that play, just running and sprinting to the ball, just being very aggressive.
Luckenbill and Hoover come near side. It's Gears on the far side. Carter to the left of Kirby. Drops back to pass, looking far side. And it was tipped at the line. Falls harmlessly down, but it's now 3rd and 9. And it's the difference from one team to the other. The short opportunities versus the long ones.
And he was looking for Gears, and he had Gears just past the first down marker. But credit number 55, Aiden Zilker, the defensive end for North Schuylkill, he's the one that gets his arm up and deflects that pass and denies them any kind of good pickup on second down.
Zilker 6'5". Iron Man plays offensive line and defensive line. 3rd and 9. Dropping back again, looking across the middle. And it's caught by Gears for the first down. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds by Luke Miller, just shy of the 30-yard line. A big pickup for the DM2 security first down.
And as you say, Gears on the far side of the field. You have the 2 receivers here clear out, one running a dig route and Gears running underneath it. And everybody dropping in the North Schuylkill secondary, allowing Gears time. But most importantly, it was that offensive line of Blue Mountain giving Kirby the time to find him and let that play develop.
They switch sides. Gears near side, 2 to the far side. And the ball's loose. Looks like Carter Smith able to hop back on it as the mix-up of the handoff And a busted play.
It just looked like a miscommunication. Looked like Carter Smith was just looking for a fake, and Kirby giving it to him. Luckily for Blue Mountain, able to get back on that and really save what could have been a disaster for them.
Yeah, luckily it looked like Carter Smith was the only one who realized the ball was on the ground and was able to hop right on it. But 2nd and 10, closing minute of the first half. Kirby has a man, caught, and it is a touchdown for Blue Mountain. Duke Renninger, the tight end, found himself behind the defense, then found himself in the end zone.
And when you look at the stats, Duke Renninger, not necessarily one of their top receivers. He's at the tight end position. They're going to run a play-action pass coming back this way. Safety late getting over top. The corner sucked up with that fake, and Renninger gets behind him, makes the catch. That's a lonely feeling. You're so wide open. Everybody's watching you, and you just want to make sure you secure that catch. And he does and gets in for the touchdown.
Hoover with the extra point, and it's 14-7 with 12 and a half seconds left in the first.
You get a chance to see the big play ability of both teams. Blue Mountain right now, the reason why they're behind, as we could all see, is they just made a few mistakes. Penalties, putting them behind the sticks, fumbles, miscommunications. But with all that being said, still only 14-7.
Hoover will kick off. Jackson Parker and Landon Smith. It's Smith who loses it, but able to pick it up. Cuts across the middle, and he's dropped down at about the 27-yard line. And there's 7 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. You go back to that touchdown, and look, when you have the speedy wide receivers that we talked about, sometimes you're going to pinch up a little bit and you forget about the tight end who was essentially wide open for the score.
And it seemed like the free safety saw him breaking deep and was reluctant to come over because of the attention to the other receivers.
Timeout looks to be called by Blue Mountain. That's the second timeout for the Eagles of this first half. Just 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I think there was just a miscommunication of personnel for Blue Mountain and how they wanted to align to North Schuylkill. So Coach Kutz wisely calling that timeout. You already saw Luke Miller can go 70 yards.
Right.
You don't want to give up that because of a miscommunication. You need to make him earn everything he earns.
Yeah, I was going to say this is not the team and certainly not the player that you can say, we can gamble for these 7
exactly.
seconds.
Is that 7 seconds? That could be 7.
Yes. Or 8.
Yes, or 8 for North Schuylkill, yes.
6 or 8. We'll see what happens. But and again, not to harp on that, but it's 14-7. It's a one-score game because, unfortunately, North Schuylkill does not have a kicking game, and it's hit or miss. Make it the first time, they miss it the second. 2 wide receivers to the far side. It's Nelson and Smith. Mangle, the handoff to Miller. Right up the middle, and he is tripped up. But it is a DM2 security first down. There's 1 tick left.
As soon as that ball gets set, there it goes.
And that will be the end of the first quarter, so we will step aside. 1 quarter in the books. Been a good one so far. 14-7 North Schuylkill. This is the D11Sports.com High School Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Learn what makes you unique with no-cost genetic screening through DNA Answers, a community health research program available through St. Luke's. Learn how your DNA impacts your health and if you are at risk for certain cancers and hereditary high cholesterol, a cause of heart disease. Gaining a better understanding of your genetic health risks can help you and your doctor personalize your care for a healthier future. Health insurance is not required to participate. Learn more at DNAanswers.org.
Did you know that every year our nation's hospitals are graded on quality and safety? Did you know this information is publicly available? Did you know that St. Luke's has earned 5 stars for quality and straight A's for safety? St. Luke's is the only PA-based health system and only 1 in 3 health systems in the nation to earn these outstanding recognitions. St. Luke's, the only locally based healthcare network serving as a model for the nation.
Flip things around, and on first down, a handoff up the middle to Luke Miller. A modest gain of 3. 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
We haven't talked about up front. The one thing that North Schuylkill has is the advantage in size. So Blue Mountain has to use their leverage and get underneath that height, get underneath that size, and be physical at the line of scrimmage.
Mangle rolls out. He is able to pick up a few before he's knocked out of bounds. Just could not get anybody open. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Still on their own side of the field. Now, Caden Mangle is also the punter. So if it does get to be a 4th down, which we haven't seen yet, it's still going to be the same guy out there. Hand off to Miller. No 4th down needed. It's going to be a DM2 security 1st down. He gets across the 50-yard line and picks up a few more than he needed.
And there you saw a good chance or an opportunity for Blue Mountain. Sonny Amato, a freshman linebacker, getting off the block to stop Miller before he can pick up extra yardage. Those are things that they need to do closer to the line of scrimmage. They can't let him get 5 yards downfield before you start to make the tackle.
McGraw goes in motion. Hand off to Miller. Tries to go behind McGraw. Does. Flips forward. And it looks like just enough for another DM2 security 1st down. And methodically going down the field again.
I believe that was number 7, Josh Hoover, coming from the safety spot up to make the tackle. But not until, as you said, Miller picks up the 1st down. And on that play, you have McGraw, number 36, coming in with a kick-out block. You have their tight end, number 44, Brody Suchak. He's getting a good seal block on his down block. And then you have the receivers downfield blocking and sustaining blocks.
Miller again towards the outside. Hesitates. And then still able to pick up a few. Out to the 30-yard line. We'll see where they mark it.
You're right. You said that little hesitation. Reese Miller nearly chased him down. He gave everything he had to get him. But then at that point, that's when Luke Miller paused, let a Blue Mountain defender run in front of him, and then able to pick up a little bit of extra yardage.
Mark it at the 31-yard line. It's 2nd and 4. Opens up the playbook with 2nd and relatively short. Mangle's going to take it himself behind a lead block. And he's going to pick up that 1st down needed. The M2 security 1st down on the quarterback keeper.
Interesting watching the North Schuylkill and being that running team, the running approach, but yet they don't huddle. But at the same time, they don't go fast.
Right.
So it's kind of like an oxymoron where they're going no huddle, and you think no huddle, they're going to go quick. They take their time, and they make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Angel Ortiz gets the carry, breaks a tackle, goes to the far side, and he's going to dive and come just short of the 1st down, gets the 1st down. He's going to come short of the end zone. See where he stepped out. It'll be 1st and goal either way.
Again, another running back that shows great balance and great vision. He's able to hit up in the hole, and you kind of lose him. The defense can't see him behind that offensive line, and then all of a sudden he breaks out to the edge, and he's running around the corner down to the 2.
Mangle, the keeper, needs 4 yards, and he gets it for the touchdown. Mangle kept it himself. They had marked it at the 4-yard line. Needed 4, got maybe 4.5.
It's just a lead with Luke Miller. You have Brady Suchak out there blocking, and really thought Mangle was going to go in untouched. And then all of a sudden, 3 Blue Mountain defenders appear and make it a challenge at the goal line, but just too much momentum coming towards the goal line carries Mangle in for the touchdown.
Landon Smith goes to the far side. Miller gets the handoff towards the near side, and he goes in relatively untouched. Not touched until he hit that goal line. The 2-point conversion is good this time. And it is 22-7 at the 8:49 mark of the second quarter.
The last few weeks in the games that we've been calling, every coach has talked about execution of the guys up front. And we're seeing tonight some solid execution by the North Schuylkill offensive line, tight ends, and fullbacks. We're starting to see the same thing occur with the Blue Mountain offensive line and tight ends and fullbacks. Again, it comes back to that first drive by Blue Mountain. And if they can kind of swing this and get a stop, that can be huge for Blue Mountain.
Mangle's kick, picked up by Luckenbill just outside the 20-yard line. Spins, brought down just past the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles of Blue Mountain, trailing 22-7, 8:44 left in the first half.
And on the tackle and getting up slow and injured is number 25, Angel Ortiz, who had the big run to set up the North Schuylkill offense. So if you're North Schuylkill and you have Luke Miller, yes, Angel Ortiz has provided a nice changeup this evening.
Hey, football fans, time to get your pickle on at Pickleball Lehigh Valley. Are you ready to try the fastest growing sport in the country? Grab a paddle and join the pickleball action right here at PLV. Courts, leagues, clinics, you name it, we've got it. Bring your friends, get moving, and see why everyone is obsessed with pickleball. Don't wait, hit the court and join the fun today. Stop by the Sportsplex on Crackersport Road or visit pickleballlehighvalley.com. If you're a student from any District 11 school and are interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to Al or Dave at d11sports.com. If you can get here by the end of the second half, we might even be able to use you.
If you're in the area, please let us know.
And a flag on the snap. It's going to be offsides on the defense.
So it had to be a defensive lineman lining up in the neutral zone.
So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 5 at the 41-yard line.
Hey, Matt, you know who's a very good pickleball player?
Al?
Al. Just ask him. Right, Sean? Just ask him.
Tennis Hall of Famer at Parkland, I would imagine so. Kirby rifles it to Carter Smith, gets across the 50-yard line and up to about the 46. A DM2 security first down on a nice play.
Play action has been favorable for Blue Mountain tonight. North Schuylkill really committing to the run. It's also helpful to pick up a huge block by Ryan Clements, the pulling guard out on the outside, to give Kirby the time necessary to hit his receiver.
I should correct myself. I don't think Al's actually in the Hall of Fame, but he's got a picture of a team on the wall.
Well, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah,
it's good. Handoff, Carter Smith. Bangs up to the 40-yard line. Good pickup on first down.
and between Carter Smith and Brody Foose, the two of them provide a very solid 1-2 punch. Both of them over 500 yards rushing, and the two of them over 1,000. So you have basically a 1,000-yard back on your offense, just in the form of two guys. So that you're always going to have a healthy guy, fresh guy on the field.
And these numbers are through 7 games.
Correct.
Which is even more impressive with some that we're throwing out there. 2nd and 5. Kirby drops back, evades one rusher, not going to get past the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. And he's going to lose yardage. Able to step up in the pocket and get past the first guy, but there were quite a few more dark jerseys there.
Correct. And I think the one thing they're looking for is that the drop back. The drop back allows that defensive line just to pin their ears back and come. When they've had the play action, they've stood at the line of scrimmage. They haven't had that big of a rush, and I think that's something they need to get back to.
Caden McGraw and others in that dog pile at the end. Here you go again, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 from the 43. Kirby drops back again, and he's going to be dropped again. This time it was Bryce Kyle. Defensive back came right in. I was about to say, depending on what happens on that 3rd down, you start to think about it on 4th, but you can't take a sack there, and the punting unit's going to have to come out. Preston Whalen will do the honors with Miller and Smith both dropping back. Whalen in the direction of Landon Smith, but he wisely is just going to step aside from that one. It's going to roll to the 10-yard line. Good punt from the senior Preston Whalen.
This is a great opportunity for the Blue Mountain defense to get a stop, give themselves a short field offensively, and get something before the end of this half. You have 5 minutes, 45 seconds left. If you can get the ball back without giving up a score, and you can go down and get some points, knowing you get the ball back, you can potentially score again. Now we're in a different ball game.
You can flip the script for sure.
Absolutely.
And the first part of that is trying to flip the field position. It starts with that punt, which is good. Keep in mind, Blue Mountain has already called 2 of their timeouts. So if they do get the ball back, they're going to have a couple less to play with. Hand off to Miller, up the middle, breaks a tackle that is dropped, and a flag is thrown. It may not matter, but he got further than I thought he would have with the way that he ran right into that line. We'll see what the call is.
Looks like it's going to be against Blue Mountain.
Unfortunately, we are opposite the way that they're going, with the calls, but it is a face mask. He still got a lot of yards with the face mask call, too.
He did. So 5-yard face mask. But, again, as you said, he hit into that line, and you didn't really think there was much there. Then all of a sudden he pops out.
McGraw in motion. Handoff is to Miller. He popped out again. Back-to-back plays with the DM2 security first down. And picking up good yardage on that one.
And you're going to see, again, there's not that much of a hole. The defensive line is doing a nice job trying to close it down. Reese Miller's there, but just being able to get through. He's being able, just breaking through arm tackles and then getting into the secondary.
Approaching the 5-minute mark of quarter number 2. Hand off again to Miller, around the outside. Gets to about the 40-yard line. They'll mark it nose to the 40. It'll be 2nd and 3 at that 40-yard line. Getting the calls from that far sideline.
Be a good time for North Schuylkill maybe to take a shot deep. Not after the penalty, though.
There was definitely a flinch or two. It's going to be on the line. They called it on the center. I think everybody maybe moved but him. So second and long, and another
I think there's going to be a
penalty.
second one on North Schuylkill. It looked like Zilker, the left tackle, moved early.
So 2nd and 13 now. And whatever you were going to call it 2nd and 2, probably not the same thing here. But with Luke Miller, you never know.
I agree with you. And you see them, North Schuylkill, spreading out the defense.
Fakes the handoff. Mengel's going to take it himself up the middle. He'll pick up decent yardage.
It gets them close to back to where they were. Looking at 3rd and 5, I believe. Maybe 3rd and 6.
That would be a pickup of 7 if it is 3rd and 6. They put 3rd and 7 up on the board. Miller's going to get it. He's going to find the hole, and he's going to get that DM2 security first down just shy of midfield. And once again, same script of just right up the gut, and doesn't take much, but he's through.
It's hard to see inside there, but you're getting movement with the offensive line running zone left, getting the defense to run left, and it really comes down to just Luke Miller finding a cutback lane and getting north-south on the field immediately.
Hand off to Miller again. Breaks through to the far side. The chase is on, and he gets to the end zone. Another long touchdown for Luke Miller, and this one's going to count.
Very similar play. Again, you see a lot of patience. He doesn't hit the line full speed, but once he sees that hole, within 5 yards, he's at top speed and he's going. And Josh Hoover, one of those speedsters from Blue Mountain, nearly chases him down, but Luke Miller just enough speed to get into the end zone.
A 52-yard rush.
And I believe North Schuylkill is going to call a timeout. I don't know why they're waiting because it's an untimed down. The clock isn't running. You could have called that 20 seconds ago to the same effect.
Right. So touchdown runs of 34 and 52 for Luke Miller. The 75-yarder was brought back. He still scored then from 34 yards out. Hoover was in pursuit, and if they had 4 more yards to go, he probably would have gotten him.
I would agree with that, yes.
He brought him down, but basically at the pylon, so it ended up being that touchdown. We gave you the keys to the game earlier. They were brought to you by New York Life. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact our office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. So lining up.
Don't see a kicker on the field.
Like you said, Coach Hall mentioned they might be close. We don't know if that meant today or next week or so. Mango's going to take it himself, cuts back in and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So another 8 on that drive. It is now 30-7 North Schuylkill.
Designed run play from the beginning. You have Zilker, Suchak out on front blocking for Caden Mengel, and then you have Luke Miller as a lead blocker, just getting an extra guy in the play that the defense doesn't necessarily always account for when you have a quarterback run.
.308 remaining in the first half. We had talked prior to that drive of getting a stop and a score. Now that they got the score, this is almost a must-have, I would think, for Blue Mountain, knowing you then get the ball to start the second half.
I think if you can get that score, it definitely bodes well for you moving forward because you get the ball in the second half. You leave this half with momentum, build on it in the second half.
Squibber goes out of bounds. That will be a penalty.
And this is going to put Blue Mountain in very good field position. Should get the ball at the 40-yard line.
Which is actually not as good as where the ball went out.
Correct.
But it's not like it was a punt or anything. So they're going to add 5 yards to where it went out. So it's going to be
very good field
a
position.
little bit better. A little bit better than where we even thought. One timeout to play with, 3:08. Not worried about the time necessarily. Cohen lets loose far side. Had a man open. It was Hoover. And that could have been a huge play, but it is incomplete.
One thing to notice there, Blue Mountain has 2 running backs in the game, and they keep them both in as extra blockers for Kirby to slow down that pass rush. But again, even with that, with North Schuylkill dropping and only having to cover 3, Hoover finds that hole, and Kirby just overthrows him.
Again, Kirby, a sophomore. Couple starts last year. Maybe this is 10th overall. Hit the short man on the near side. Smith breaks a tackle, and he's going to pick up a yard or maybe no more than that. It's going to be 3rd and long. Went to the safety valve in Carter Smith, but could not pick up any, but almost lost a few. So it was nice that he broke that tackle to begin with.
And that's the one thing for defensive lineman. Aiden Zilker felt that he was getting a free run at the quarterback, started to stop, retrace his steps back to the line of scrimmage, and was able to sniff out that screen pass to Carter Smith.
Clock is running, 2:23 left. Cohen Kirby drops back, breaks one tackle. He's going to run and going to get short of the first down. He does cross the 50, but he's going to be just shy of that marker. Oh, they actually give it to him. It looked like it was going to be just short.
I thought he was a yard short, maybe.
That is a DM2 security first down. Clock stopped to move the chains, but now they're running under 2 minutes. And every play, Cohen Kirby comes to the sideline, gets the play, then has to relay it in the huddle. Minute 43 left. From the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. It's man out of the backfield to the far side, and it stays in bounds. That's Frankie Russo. Halfback out of the backfield with 1:22 remaining. It's going to be a short pickup. Call it 2nd and 5. With 1:08 left. Cohen, near side looking for Gears. Only got one handout, unable to make the grab.
And I think that's one, if Kirby puts more air under that and lets Gears run to it, defense was very good on the play, but I think Gears eventually is going to run by him, by the secondary of North Schuylkill.
It was Landon Smith in coverage. Gears at 6'4". Smith listed at 5'10". Has that height advantage. Maybe even the speed that we've talked about. It's 3rd and 5, 58.7 seconds left in this first half. Kirby looks to take it himself on a designed keeper, and he's barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and 5.
It looked like a designed quarterback draw. And it looks like Blue Mountain's going to let the clock run all the way down and call their last timeout.
They could do so with about 10 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
And at 30-7, North Schuylkill probably feels like they don't have to try to stop the clock and get the ball back. And the timeout is called with 10.2 left.
And now it becomes interesting. So if you're Blue Mountain, are you aggressive and you're getting a play called to get the first down? Or are you going to punt the ball away, put North Schuylkill deep in their territory, and just try to make sure maybe they just down the ball? They just take a knee when they get the ball back.
Today's game brought to you by Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, PA. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Definitely some choices to be made.
I mean, at this point, I like the aggressive call. I like to go for it.
Well, at this point, there's 10.2 seconds left.
You have to trust if you don't get it, your defense is going to get a stop.
Or they're not even going to need to.
Correct.
With North Schuylkill not calling timeouts here, chances that maybe they would just take a knee anyway. Kirby drops back. Can't protect him, and he's going to be dropped for a loss and the sack with 1.1 second left. So all of that, avoiding the sack, they still couldn't run out the clock.
And one thing that should have been spoken to Kirby was, at some point you just need to put the ball in the air. Put the ball in the air, let the clock run out. But I think there was too much going deep. There wasn't enough short to give him a safety valve. North Schuylkill covered the deep very well. You had nothing short for him. And in rushing 3, you just didn't have anything you could do.
Looks like it will probably be taking a knee here. And Mangle does. And that is the end of the first half, with the Spartans leading the Eagles by a score of 30-7. Blue Mountain does get the ball to start the second half. Some wasted opportunities in that first half and some great plays from the host Spartans. We will step aside. We'll come back. We'll see if we can give you some music. Looks like the band will be out there, and at some point we'll also give you some highlights and talk about how this first half came to be. It is 30-7 at the break. This is the D11Sports.com High School Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new people, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers a revolutionary dental implant solution to help you regain your smile. The All-on-4 procedure provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures for individuals who have lost all their upper or lower teeth. The benefits of our All-on-4 are experiencing immediate results, often receiving your new teeth on the same day as surgery, improving daily activities such as eating, speaking, and smiling, leading to a better quality of life, long-lasting and stable implant design, providing a secure fit that dentures cannot. The All-on-4 procedure is minimally invasive, reducing recovery time and discomfort. Our OMS team members are experts in oral surgery and specialize in this type of rehabilitation, ensuring a safe and effective process.
St. Luke's OMS helped me get my smile and confidence back.
Once you have your new smile, our OMS team will continue to support and care for you to promote a smooth recovery. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
St. Luke's is consistently first in the region to embrace innovative technologies, providing better care for heart and vascular patients. Simply put, you can trust St. Luke's to treat your heart better. When it comes to heart and vascular care, put your heart in the best hands with St. Luke's.
Learn what makes you unique with no-cost genetic screening through DNA Answers, a community health research program available through St. Luke's. Learn how your DNA impacts your health and if you are at risk for certain cancers and hereditary high cholesterol, a cause of heart disease. Gaining a better understanding of your genetic health risks can help you and your doctor personalize your care for a healthier future. Health insurance is not required to participate. Learn more at DNAanswers.org.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers all-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile. Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. Halftime here as North Schuylkill leads Blue Mountain by a score of 30-7. Alongside Matt Avancho, I'm Matt Marcus. Glad to have you with us here for some Thursday night football. And quite a few highlights that we can get to from this first half. And a lot of them are going to be North Schuylkill.
Early in the half, after a couple running plays, North Schuylkill decided to start opening it up. You had Caden Mangle finding their McGraw for the pickup for a first down. That set them up on, I believe, the 23-yard line, the 27-yard line. Second and short. Caden Mangle then finds Luke Miller. Luke Miller is a common theme to a lot of these highlights.
I'm sure.
And that sets up a play action. You have Landon Smith coming out of the backfield. Mangle finds him, picks up a key block, takes it in for the 23-yard touchdown. That put it up 8-0 early in the first. Defense comes out, gets a stop, and after a 70-yard run is already brought back from Luke Miller, Angel Ortiz picks up a first down, keeps the drive going for North Schuylkill. Luke Miller then gets the ball around the left edge, and he sprints his way into the end zone for his first of a few touchdowns this evening. And after the extra point fails, the two-point conversion fails, it's 14-0. Blue Mountain gets rolling here with Chase Gears. He catches the pass coming across the formation, gets good blocking from the offensive front to allow Kirby to find him. He gets into the end zone, and then a nice play-action design by Blue Mountain allows Kirby to roll out. Duke Renninger sneaks his way behind the secondary, Luke Miller and others, and catches it, brings it in, and that puts Blue Mountain on the board 14-7. From there, it comes back to the Luke Miller show. Luke Miller grabs the first handoff to finish off the first quarter, and then from there, it comes back to Luke Miller a little bit more. Again, not finding much, but able to get yards. When the holes aren't there, he's patient. He allows it to develop, and then he gets up into the hole and goes. Angel Ortiz set up this touchdown that's going to come after, brings it down to the 4-yard line, and North Schuylkill then aligns with Luke Miller as the lead blocker, Brody Suchak on the outside. Caden Mangle takes it himself in for the 4-yard touchdown. And with the two-point conversion, that made it 22-7. Blue Mountain fell behind on the sticks, but then able to get a few pass plays, a few running plays to get the ball going. But the drive stalls out after a fourth down sack. North Schuylkill gets the ball back, and once again, back to Luke Miller. Here you see, again, not having much of a hole, not having much room, but able to burst through and pick up positive, good yardage for North Schuylkill. It's a very similar play. This time he cuts back against the grain, gets them up to midfield, and keeps the drive rolling and keeps getting the first down. Once again, Luke Miller, same play. This time he breaks through, breaks the arm tackle, able to outrun Josh Hoover, and as we said prior, with a few more yards, maybe Josh Hoover catches him, doesn't allow him to get into the end zone. That is his second touchdown of the evening. 3rd and long for Blue Mountain. Kirby drops back. The pass rush gets him flushed out of the pocket, but does pick up some good yardage, gets him a first down. But then on 4th and short, they decide to go for it with very little time on the clock. Kirby steps up in the pocket, but that defensive line shuts everything off and able to bring him down for the sack. North Schuylkill offense would then take the field, take the snap with 1.1 seconds, kneel it out to put us at 30-7 to start the second half.
I'm still convinced, even more so now, that they did not get that first down.
I agree with you.
The camera angle that we had, and which was right above us, but hey, didn't come back to hurt or really help either side with that. Blue Mountain's going to get the ball first to start this second half, as we talked about. Did not get that opportunity to double up, but an opportunity now to kind of reset the tone of this second half.
And I think it has to start with Chase Gears and Josh Hoover becoming more involved in the offense and designing some ways to get them the ball creatively, maybe in some reverses, having them come behind the formation. Gears showed the ability to come across the formation and how successful that was. I think if you're Blue Mountain and the coaching staff, you want to try to get him the ball in as many ways as you can.
We talked about in the open about both of these teams and how much they run the ball and how successful they're running the ball. Now, I understand the score is going to dictate your offense a little bit, and at this point, you got to a point where you had to put the ball through the air. But are you surprised that the game plan seemed to be more about through the air for Blue Mountain as opposed to trying to set that tone on the ground?
I think what has happened is, as you said, I think it was the game dictated what they needed to do at that moment. I think they come out this drive, the first drive of the second half. I think they do go back to that running game. I don't think they need to be in a hurry to try to get points fast. I think they just need to get points and then come back and play solid defense. And to play solid defense, you need to know where Luke Miller is at all times.
DM2 Security is a locally owned and operated security company presently serving most all of Pennsylvania. They provide all phases of security services for your home and business. They offer free estimates and have very competitive pricing and superior customer service. Let DM2 Security start protecting you today. Check them out on the web at dm2security.com. It's a small price to pay for your peace of mind. When the stadiums, courts, and fields are quiet and the crowds are gone, St. Luke's Sports Medicine is still at work in athletic training rooms, on sidelines, and at practices. Before games and after games, no matter your sport or position, St. Luke's is on your team with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons. We'll get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. So Blue Mountain will get the ball, as we mentioned, to start this second half. Caden Mangle will kick off. His last kickoff went out of bounds, and it really set Blue Mountain up in good position, unable to capitalize on that. Luckenbill and Gears deep. It's going to be Luckenbill coming up the middle, trying to break a tackle. Gets out to about the 37-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 Eagles.
And Blue Mountain has had very good field position to start every one of their drives.
Yeah, no question. We talk a lot about the offense for North Schuylkill. The defense is pretty good as well. highlighted by a lot of the same guys we talked about on offense.
Absolutely, you're
Secondary,
right.
you see Miller and Mengel. Hand off to Carter Smith on first down. They do go with the run, getting across the 40-yard line to the 41. It'll be a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
I think as we talked about, that's what we expected. Coming back to that running game, using Carter Smith, using Brody Fuse, and allowing the offensive line to open up some holes to allow them to run through.
2 wide receivers far side, Gears on the near side. Getting the handoff, fake the pass, and Smith unable to get more than 1 or 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and medium, if you will.
If you're Blue Mountain and you're going to run that kind of play, Cohen Kirby has to be a running threat. Without that threat of him running to the outside, number 58 for North Schuylkill, Martinez, does not have to respect it at all. He can crash down, and he's unblocked, which allows him to make that tackle for very little gain.
Kirby rolls to the far side, eludes one would-be tackler. Takes it himself. He's going to come up short. Gets across the 45-yard line, but it will be 4th down. And the punter, Preston Whalen, will come out. And it is a 3-and-out to start this second half. Miller and Smith deep to receive the punt. His last punt was a good one, down to the 10-yard line. And a fake. And they're going to pick up the first down. The ball is loose, but he's able to hop back on it. It is Reese Miller. We talked about him more on the defensive side. He was the up back. And they do convert for the DM2 security first down.
A very aggressive call by the Blue Mountain coaching staff early in this half. And I think you have to. I think it was something that North Schuylkill was not ready for. They were on their heels. They're looking to get some sort of return, and a well-timed fake called by Blue Mountain.
Reese Miller came off hobbled, but he's trying to walk it off. Handoff. And a reverse. Gears, he's only going to pick up 2. There was a handoff to Carter Smith. He pitched it back to Gears coming toward the near side. But it's going to be 2nd and 8.
And I'll call his name again, David Martinez. Just starts taking a few steps to his right, chasing the play, recognizes the reverse coming back, and does a real nice job of just getting down the line. Doesn't try to get upfield. Takes the angle, gets down the line, and doesn't allow Gears any room to pick up big yards, because initially it looked like there was a lot of space for Gears.
Gears and Hoover go to the far side. Carter Smith to the left and gets the handoff from Kirby. Up the middle, short of the 40-yard line. They'll mark him about the 41. It'll be a gain of 5, 3rd and 3.
We mentioned this earlier with North Schuylkill. I think if you're Blue Mountain, you're in the same boat right now where it's 3rd and short. I think you're looking at, I have 2 plays to get the first down. I'm 4th and short, anything positive here. I don't think you're going to see Blue Mountain punt the ball. I think you get a couple yards, you're going for it on 4th down, and you're trying to pick up that first down.
As long as it's no more than like 4th and 4, I would agree with you. Pass is complete to Luckenbill. Upended, but he does get the distance needed for the DM2 security first down.
I like what Blue Mountain is doing with Cohen Kirby. They're getting the ball out of his hands quickly. They're not having him sit in the pocket. They're not having him wait and look for those long passes. They're having guys get to the flat, get the ball out to them quickly, and allow their playmakers to make plays in space.
Gears to the near side. 2 wide receivers far side. Kirby drops back, looks to go deep, overshoots Hoover again. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I think that's one that Blue Mountain will talk about in the film room tomorrow. Josh Hoover just slows down and didn't keep running. He had the defender over top of him, but I still think if he keeps running, he has a play on the ball.
Tight end Duke Renninger checks in. He had the touchdown in the first half. Sets up on the far side of the line. Slot to the near side. Man in motion. Kirby rolls to the near side. He's going to throw it out of bounds.
And that was a miscommunication. Kirby coming to the near sideline, all the receivers were running routes to the far sideline. So that's a rookie mistake. And as you said, as Coach Kutz said, he's growing into the position, and he felt he has made a lot of progress. But now you're in an environment where you're down, you're trying to make plays. Things start to speed up, and your body doesn't necessarily go the same speed as your brain does. And all of a sudden, you make those mistakes where you might go the wrong way.
The timeout is going to be called by Blue Mountain ahead of this 3rd and 10 with 7:21 left in the third, the first possession of half number 2. D11Sports.com thanks Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton, for his sponsorship of the Game of the Week. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. 3rd and long. We talked at 3rd and 3. You've got some options. If you do get to 4th down, they did not need it. A little further up, probably at the point where it's not worth a punt. But obvious passing down here. If you lose yardage again, may change your thinking. 2 wide receivers near side. Gears goes to the far side. Carter Smith to the left of Cohen Kirby. Kirby drops back. Steps up. Finds Gears across the middle. Stutter steps. And he's going to be dropped shy of the 30-yard line. Did he pick up enough to go for it on 4th down?
I think you do, because you're not going to get much out of a punt from a 37. I don't think you're kicking the what we're looking at 46-yard field goal, 48-yard field goal actually.
The ball's marked at the 31. They did pick up 6 there, so it's 4th and 4. Very manageable, and the offense is still out there. I say very manageable as if I've ever done it. But
I think you're right, though.
Manageable enough.
For their offense, this is very manageable.
Luckabill in motion. Looking that way. Hits him across the middle. And it is enough for the first down as Luckabill went out and then came back across the middle to pick up that DM2 security first down.
And I was nearly about to say, oh, no. I saw him going on the out route, the short flat route, and there was nobody out there. And then he came back underneath. You see, as he continues the outside, there's nobody there. I thought he was bringing himself into trouble, but makes the catch, secures it, and picks up the first down for Blue Mountain.
Gear shifts from the far side to the near side. Slot to the far side, 2 running backs. Handoff is to Carter Smith, takes it across the outside. Cuts back in, he's going to pick up a few.
And I think there's a flag on the field. Probably going to be holding, I would think, against Blue Mountain.
It's in that position, and the team is walking backwards. Again, we are on the visiting side. So Pat Patrone doesn't signal in our direction, but you see on your screen it is a hold on the offense. I think you're looking at probably it was about a pickup of 5. But instead of 2nd and 5, it'll remain first. But they'll mark it back at the 35-yard line.
So a 1st and 20 from the 35.
Gears in motion. Kirby rolls to the near side. Has Gears downfield in his hands and in the end zone for the touchdown.
We talked about creative ways to get Gears the ball. We already saw the reverse. We saw them trying to get the ball to him passing-wise. This was a nice play design, bringing Gears in motion. You have man-to-man on Luke Miller. Luke Miller has to navigate through two other Blue Mountain defenders, and Gears knows that, able to get a step or two on him. And you have to credit Cohen Kirby throwing a nice pass for Gears to go run under and catch for the touchdown.
Hoover's extra point is good. It is 30-14 after the first possession of this third quarter. And a couple of good plays going for it on fourth down with the fake punt, and then great throw from the sophomore Kirby to Gears.
And I was just going to mention that fourth down play, as much as it kept your drive alive and you do get the score, at what cost? Because it looks like Reese Miller may not be able to come back in this game tonight. Still hobbling on the sideline with the trainer. Does not have his helmet with him.
It looks like lower body, ankles. Mm-hmm. He's been trying to work it out. He came off the sideline and didn't go to a trainer. He was trying to work it out, walk it off, so to speak. He has been in touch with a trainer now, and we'll see how things play out. He does look to be in pain. Hoover with the kick. A little squibber. And the up man takes it out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
So as we talked about, it does look like the defense will come out without Reese Miller, at least for this drive. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that as we move through this second half.
So 30-14, North Schuylkill still in the lead, 5:21 remaining in the third. Two wide receivers to the far side. It's Nelson and Smith. Miller gets the handoff, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of a couple. Even when he falls, though, you saw him fall backwards and almost picked up an extra yard or two just the way he landed.
And this will be a big series for the Blue Mountain defense. Can they get a stop and build on that momentum that they have offensively?
It was a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Miller up the middle and good enough for the first down. A DM2 security first down for the Spartans of North Schuylkill. Clock is running. And Matt, as you mentioned earlier, the kind of deliberate nature of this offense. Everybody looking across the way, everybody getting the sign. Not really huddling, but not
going quick.
Not rushing either. Here's a rush. It's Miller, breaks a tackle, gets across the 50. There's a late flag. He got to the 45-yard line or so, but it looks like it might be coming back.
And we're in a booth with the Blue Mountain coaching staff, and they've been calling for a hold all night long. And I think they probably had a few that could have been called. They get one there, which now puts them in a good position. 1st and 20, going the other way. This would be a great time for their defense to come up with a stop.
Well, after getting the score on the first possession, there hasn't been any stops yet. Clock running, 4:03 remaining in the third. Landon Smith to the far side. Hand off to Miller. And he's going to run into a wall. Led by Jude Sonnen, junior defensive lineman, right up front there.
You can see early on in this half that it looks like Blue Mountain's adjustment at halftime is we have to know where Luke Miller is. We have to know where number 1 is, especially in the running game. We can't let him just run at will.
See if that opens things up for a pass to Julian Nelson, Landon Smith, some of the weapons at the disposal of Caden Mengel. He's going to drop back, go deep for Smith, and there's going to be a flag there. That one was pretty obvious. Fans on our side did not like it.
No, they do not.
But that was headed for Cole Luckenbill, and I saw pass interference all the way.
Yes, and there's contact before the ball gets there. He's not making a play on the ball. He didn't look for the ball. So you see two officials throwing the flag, but it's only going to be 2nd and 5. Or
they're going to replay second. It's a gain of 15.
So it's only 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5.
It was intended for Landon Smith. Luckenbill, the Eagle who was penalized. I would have thought automatic first on a play like that, though. Handoff. No, fake the handoff. Mengel to the near side, going for the sticks, and it looks like he's going to get it.
I think it does look like he got it. Not by much, though.
Not by much, and
No.
it was hard to tell because that person on the chain gang got out of the way.
Wisely got out of the way.
And rightfully so.
Yes.
So we had to wait for that to be reset, but it is a DM2 security first down picked up by the quarterback, Caden Mengel. 2:43 left to play in this third quarter. Tight end in motion. Handoff Miller through the hole and through the defense and into the end zone for another touchdown. This one from 43 yards out. Touchdowns of 34, 52, and 43 yards.
You take another look. Defensive end Shaner gets a little bit too far upfield, and Brady Strauss, number 2, gets too far outside, and you can't give Luke Miller any kind of seam, because once he sees that, he puts his full speed into it, and he's hard to catch.
Even from state class sprinters.
Correct.
Blue Mountain calls a timeout before this 2-point conversion try. And again, if we had mentioned it before, if you're seeing North Schuylkill for the first time, they don't have a kicker. This is not a matter of trying to run up the score or anything. They just don't have a kicker. We talked to Wally Hall, their head coach, earlier. They're trying to get there. They think they might be close. But that is why they've been going for 2. And with the exception of once, right now they're 3 of 4 in the 2-point conversions, their 5th opportunity.
And as Coach Hall said, they have somebody they're getting close. He looked like a younger kid on the team, warming up on the sideline pregame. But again, if you're Coach Hall, you don't want to put him in a situation where it can kill his confidence. But at the same time, you also have to weigh that with, when do we get him in the game? When do we get him that confidence? And I think we might see that sometime tonight.
Maybe in the 4th quarter, we shall see. Handoff. No, ball's on the ground. So it is an unsuccessful try as Dylan Foose hopped on the loose ball. And it will remain 36-14 with 2:22 remaining in the third. Looked like maybe just a little miscommunication.
And with a lot of that, they're faking the one to the running back coming cross in motion. Then Mengel's turning to try to get to Luke Miller. And if you're not in the right spacing, if you're off by just a couple inches, that ball definitely can be put on the ground very easily.
Mengel will kick off. Luckenbill and Gears are deep. Last few have not gone deep. And this one gets picked up by Carter Smith and is going to get dropped about the 41-yard line. So once again, good field position for the Eagles. Let's see if they can capitalize on that and pick up some of the momentum that at least their offense had in the first drive of the second half. Carter Smith is the running back to the left of Kirby and shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side. Gears goes in motion. Fakes the handoff. Gets it to Luckenbill with blockers in front. Across the 45-yard line. Trying to get to the 50. Does. We'll see where they mark him out.
I think I thought he might have been right at the first down marker, but it looks like he's just shy of it.
They'll mark it at the 49, so he did not get to midfield, and he did not get that first down. 2nd and 1. That time he had Gears in motion, and then he became the lead blocker. 2 wide receivers near side. Handoff, Carter Smith to the near side. First down achieved. Gets across the 45-yard line, dropped about the 43. A DM2 security first down for Blue Mountain.
Focus on the running game in the second half has been Smith, and has been his ability to find that seam where he can squirt through and get going north-south. He's done it a few times on the first drive and now also on this drive.
Luckenbill and Hoover to the far side. Gears, lone wide receiver near side. Handoff again to Smith. Cuts back up the middle. Crosses the 40-yard line. Out to about the 38. Good pickup on first down.
I feel what Blue Mountain's able to do right now is they're kind of neutralizing that defensive front of North Schuylkill. They're attacking the outside, spreading out the linebackers, spreading out the secondary, and then they're coming back inside with Smith, which is allowing their offensive line really to only focus on the 4 defensive linemen. They don't have to worry as much about the linebackers.
Luckenbill in motion. Kirby throws back across his body and no good on the try. They're trying to find Gears across the middle. Clock stops with 23.7 seconds. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
And it was a very similar play to what Gears scored on the previous drive. This time it was Luckenbill running that wheel route up the far sideline, but Julian Nelson does a nice job of staying back, staying in coverage, and keeping everything in front of him.
It's Gears on the near side. Slot on the far side. Handoff is to Smith. Could be a flag thrown.
This is interesting. Where the flag's thrown, I'm thinking it might be a face mask because I didn't see many offensive linemen around him.
Looks in that territory. Could also be that aside. It was close to first down yardage. It is going to be a face mask. So they'll tack on 15 yards. That's a good pickup, good movement for the Eagles. In the red zone now, about the 19-yard line. Clock is running. There's 16 seconds left. They don't seem to be in a hurry. Now they rush up to the line, see if they get their play off. 5 seconds. Kirby rolls near side, steps out of bounds. It looks like they do let the clock run out. That is the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth on the other side of a break. It is 36-14, North Schuylkill in the lead. And Blue Mountain on the march. Back in a bit. This is the D11Sports.com High School Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers all-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile. Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
Did you know that every year our nation's hospitals are graded on quality and safety? Did you know this information is publicly available? St. Luke's has earned 5 stars for quality and straight A's for safety. Can your hospital say that?
Stay active. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care will get you back to doing what you love. With locations near you, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home.
Start of the fourth quarter, it is 2nd and 10. Cohen Kirby pushed out of bounds on the first down at the line of scrimmage. Drops back, looking left. And he's brought down. Looks like he might have got back to the line of scrimmage again.
I think in the maturation process of Cohen Kirby, I think what he's going to want to do at times is get out of the pocket, and then also, can he get the ball and throw it away? Take less hits, take less of that body, the hits on the body, the soreness, the bruises, and just get himself to the next down and get him to the next down safely.
So it's 3rd and 10 at the 19-yard line. And Blue Mountain has called their final timeout. It's an important play here, or two. Want to make sure they have it figured out, but it is the last one of their half. If you're a student from any District 11 school and are interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to Al or Dave at d11sports.com. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or need of reviewing your options, please contact our office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. They gave us our keys to the game in the pregame. Kirby drops back, avoids a rush, and trying to get Luckenbill, but it was just short, and short hopped him. It'll be 4th and 10.
And we have a North Schuylkill player down in pain. I believe it's Slot Cabbage, number 21. Looking at his right leg.
In that same vein, you had mentioned Reese Miller, more on the defensive side, but he has been on the bench in a dejected look as well. So it does not look like he will be back there, and that could be a big loss on the other side with Slot Cabbage. He's a wide receiver and a defensive back. We see him more on the defensive side, a sophomore. Could certainly step up on the offensive side with the graduation coming up. Landon Smith and Julian Nelson, 2 senior wide receivers. But he is being attended to. Hey fans, want your athlete to take the game to the next level? Then check out St. Luke's Sportsplex, your ultimate destination for camps, clinics, performance, speed and agility and weight training, as well as turf and court rentals. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a future superstar, we've got the programs to make you faster, stronger, and unstoppable. Don't wait. Stop by the Sportsplex or visit sluhn.org/sports and get in on the game today. That is also where you can take on Allen pickleball.
Yes.
We do see Sladkavage being helped off the field, and he is not putting much weight on his right ankle. This is a game of attrition, and we talked about in the open, and we talked with the coaches as well. Certainly health first and foremost for the players. Week 8, we're winding down the regular season. Just 2 more weeks after this before the playoffs begin. On 4th and 10, Kirby, the fade, far side, and it is incomplete, intended for Gears. And we'll turn the ball over to the Spartans. It looked like a good play. Went for the fade route, and just good coverage by North Schuylkill.
From here, it looked like if Gears plants and kind of stops and comes back and attacks the ball, I think he has a real good shot at catching that. You kind of throw that, it's underthrown, not by a lot, but I think he has the height advantage over the defender in Julian Nelson. I think if he stops and jumps, I think he catches that and he comes down with a touchdown.
He's got about 5 inches on Nelson. Handoff is to Miller. Still on his feet. And a good pickup again, where you think he's going to be dropped early, and then he almost gets to the sticks. A gain of 7 or 8, depending on where they marked it down. 10:34 remaining in this 4th quarter.
And as we've mentioned a few times, North Schuylkill no huddle, but again, in no kind of hurry at all.
Hand off to Miller, up the middle. First down secured, hurdled the defender, went around Luckenbill, and he's in front of the defense, gets some help from Nelson, and another long run into the end zone for Luke Miller. We check the field, and this one will stand. His 4th touchdown and a 73-yarder.
And Luke Miller learned the lesson of, as I come through, the safety's coming up, and he's going to go low. You see number 7, Hoover, he comes up, he goes low, so he hurdles over him and then makes a nice cut off of Luckenbill, and then he uses his speed the rest of the way to the end zone.
And credit Nelson for going step for step with him and then getting in front of Luckenbill just to give that little extra push, or extra space anyway. They will go for 2. So still not trying out the kicker. Mangle keeps it, and they will keep him out of the end zone. It'll be 42-14. So now on 6 touchdowns, 6 two-point tries, they're at 50%. 3 good, 3 not successful. The last 2 have been unsuccessful. I think also, we talked about when is there a good time to try somebody for the first time. Certainly not in a close game. This one would seem to fit in that regard. Also, how many two-point conversion plays do you want to put on film for everybody else to see?
That's a good point, Matt. I mean, how many do you want to? I mean, it's not like it's college where the overtime rules, you have to go for 2, and then the ball in the 3rd overtime is on the 3-yard line, which is just, all right, who has the most creative and successful two-point plays? But at the same time, if you continue to go, how much time do you spend drawing up two-point plays? Or do you just continue to use your regular offensive plays?
Hoover almost had trouble picking that up. He was able to fall on it. That would have been disastrous with 10 minutes and 1 second remaining. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Gears just came off the field on the near side. Wide receivers to either side. Hoover across the way. And Luckenbill near side. It's a pitch to Carter Smith. Fights towards the line to gain.
Looks like he's going to be just past it, Matt.
It is a DM2 security first down.
Picks up good blocking on the outside on the perimeter by Duke Renninger, 42 from his tight end position. He seals it, and then you had Luckenbill and Hoover out in front blocking for him.
Gears remains on the sideline. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Handoff. Carter Smith. Another first down. Nice cut back to the far side. Now back up the middle. Tries to go around Nelson. Has some blockers. It'd be a big gain. He is finally brought down, but inside the 25-yard line. Inside the 20. A big pickup for a DM2 security first down. Nice run from Carter Smith showing the moves.
And this is a fantastic job of running with vision. He's coming to the left side, then he breaks out to the right side. He has a blocker in front. He slows up, lets him engage in a block, and then gets back outside. And as you said, a huge pickup for Blue Mountain.
Carter Smith, senior running back. 2 wide receivers in the near side. Man in motion. Hand off to Smith. He's going to go right up the gut. Pick up a few. This drive has been all Carter Smith. They had the pitch for a first down, just getting the 10. And then that big run before that play. Gears comes back in place of Luckenbill. It was a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the 14-yard line, under 8.5 to play. Kirby drops back. Across the middle. Tried the one-handed catch. But Foose unable to make the grab. I'll make that Frankie Russo, excuse me.
And I think the ball was just outside of his reach. And he tried to go up with the one hand, tried to make the catch, but just too far out of his reach.
And a timeout is called. Blue Mountain was already out. So, timeout by North Schuylkill.
Just letting everybody know, Al has opened up all challenges in pickleball.
Okay.
He said he is very good, and he's welcoming any opponent. I just hope I can be there to see it.
Oh, we are broadcasting.
We have to broadcast that, Sean.
We will.
Right?
We will get that going.
Could you imagine? I'm sure Al's wearing high white socks. I'm sure like a white headband.
I was going to say the headband is definitely there.
Right?
He going all white like Wimbledon?
He might pull the all white.
I will be there and we will sell tickets. Kirby has a man. It's Gears for the touchdown. Right up the seam. Second time they've connected. This one from 14 yards out.
And you credit Gears running the slant route. And the ball put high by Kirby. He commits to it. He goes up. He catches it. Knowing farewell, he may take a shot. And Luke Miller does pull back as he sees him make the catch inside the end zone. Does not give him a hit. But Chase Gears, real nice job showing the hands and catching that for his second touchdown of the evening.
Hoover 3 for 3 on the extra points. It's now 42-21. Are you saying that Luke Miller made a business decision on that one? Knowing the score,
I think
he's going to be in the end zone probably. No sense.
Correct, and I think it's a little of both. And probably if he does take the hit, he's probably getting flagged as well. So it's probably going to be a defenseless player hitting him, depending on how he hits him. So I think that a lot played into that decision on his part.
He also may take the brunt of that too.
Correct.
And it may have been in the end zone or falling into the end zone where you're going to give up the 6 anyway.
Correct.
I think, the situation of the game, and it goes
I think
to
that played a
it goes
part,
to
absolutely.
his mental capacity of this game too. If that was late game situation like we've had the North Schuylkill Notre Dame games, we brought you that the last 3 years, all of them coming down to the last minute, even the last play.
He's taking
a different approach there for sure.
I agree.
Well, onside kick, had to make sure it went the required yardage.
And there were multiple times I thought a Blue Mountain kick coverage guy was about to touch it, and it just continued to roll. I didn't think it was going to get 10 yards, and it definitely did then.
It just got there, but it was hopped on by a Spartan. So they will have their best field position right at the 50-yard line. Seven minutes, 52 seconds remaining. Nelson to the near side. It's Smith far side. Fullback McGraw in motion. Handoff is to Miller. He's going to pick up a few. And then some extracurriculars at the end, maybe blocking a little too much.
I think it just went too much, went a little too long. Aiden Zoker.
It's going to be a personal foul, and they're going to go backwards. I was about to credit him for the block in general, but he certainly took that past the whistle.
We have some help from a viewer at home. Unofficially, Luke Miller, 331 yards rushing.
Whew. Well, we talked about coming into
215 in the first half.
He started the game at 1340 in 7 games. He gets the handoff here, runs into a brick wall. And keep in mind, that first down play did count.
Yes, because it was dead ball.
The personal foul was dead ball. So it was second down and long there. Now it's third and long.
By the way, that home stats guy is Al. He's watching. Sean, he has a list of notes he's going to share with you tomorrow.
Is he statting the game while watching it?
No, I think he's on Twitter using other people's stats.
Oh. It is 3rd and 19, just under 7 minutes. They're still going to hand the ball off. Miller. Going to get back to almost the original line of scrimmage. Actually going to mark him down a little shorter than that.
So here's a decision if you're North Schuylkill. Do you punt it away?
Well, Mangle is the punter. The quarterback, Caden Mangle,
correct, yes.
does punt. So he's going to line up in shotgun anyway.
They have a changing of personnel, so it looks like they're very well could be the punt coverage team.
He does roll, and the rugby-style punt will go out of bounds to lane 4
this
of
is
the track.
Interesting where this comes.
It would not have been a first down if we're there.
And they chop it in at the 44-yard line.
That judge
so a
kept
difference
going.
of what, 6 yards? Maybe 8?
No more than that. Trying to keep it away and not returnable. But I think that one might have backfired. 6:10 on the clock. 2 wide receivers on both sides. Carter Smith to the left of the quarterback, Kirby in shotgun. Drops back, looks right. Has a man, Luckenbill, and he dropped it.
And
Credit Julian Nelson on the coverage because I think that would have been caught without him.
And that's the same play they were trying to look at earlier in this half where I had mentioned Julian Nelson staying back. This time he kind of baits Kirby into throwing the ball and then makes a break up on Luckenbill to dislodge him from the football.
Nelson's been involved in a number of plays. Gears goes in motion. Handoff is to Smith. Right up the middle. First down and more. Still on his feet and now dropped at the 39-yard line. DM2 security. First down for Carter Smith.
That's a nice draw play drawn up by Blue Mountain, bringing Smith back away from where all the action and receivers were to the right side of the formation. And he makes a good cut, picks up a block from Luckenbill down the field to free him for some extra yardage.
They faked the pass to Gears in the flat. Took a little bit of the attention away. Great job by Smith, who's really come along in this second half. Kirby dropping back. McGraw had him. Going to throw it out of bounds. McGraw almost got him for a big loss. The fullback / linebacker.
And that's the decision, I think, as the coaching staff goes back with Kirby and talk to him about decision making. That's a very good decision that he made, knowing I'm not going to outrun necessarily McGraw. And if I do outrun McGraw, there's going to be a host of other North Schuylkill defenders coming my way. So let me get rid of this. He was already 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Let's just take the loss of down, not any loss of yardage.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Hand off to Carter, up the middle. Looks like he may only get 2. Up to the 37-yard line, 3rd and 8.
And you know you have 2 downs to pick up this first down, if not more, for a touchdown. So you don't necessarily have to go long on this play.
But I think you do have to gain some positive
You do,
yards.
yes. You do need to get into, I would say, like 4th and 3.
You're probably
to
going
give
for
you a
it
good
either
possibility.
way. Exactly. Throw to the near side. It's caught by Hoover, and it is a first down. About the 21-yard line, a DM2 security first down. Kirby to Hoover on the near side. Yeah, there was no question that was incomplete. They were still going to go for it, but it's that more manageable fourth down.
To give yourself a chance, you wanted to have something positive yardage-wise. And just to point out, too, this whole second half, while it was a 30-7 halftime lead for North Schuylkill, this has been starters versus starters. North Schuylkill has not brought backups in, and this is Blue Mountain executing against the starting defense of North Schuylkill.
Kirby complete to Luckenbill. Inside the 10-yard line, a DM2 security first down. It's 1st and goal. And I think if you are Chuck Kutz and his staff and the Blue Mountain team, you're not necessarily playing to win this game at this point, but you're playing maybe to win the Pottsville game next week.
Correct.
I think you're trying to get some momentum. You're trying to get some good film for yourself to go through film this week. You got 2 games left, Pottsville and Tamaqua, as just 2 more weeks after tonight of the regular season. Handoff is to Smith. Not going to be able to break a tackle.
And I think the other thing you're looking for if you're Coach Kutz is you already have down Reese Miller. You don't know the extent of that injury. I believe there's another offensive lineman who is not dressed in the second half on crutches. What is your health situation coming out of here? But again, I think you score here. You're just under 4 minutes, 42-28. I think we're going to see another onside kick. And if you get that onside kick, now we're in a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. I'm certainly not trying to discredit the fact that they're still trying to win the game. Looks like Kirby takes it himself inside the 5-yard line. Maybe a pickup of 2. The other thing we talked about, you've got a sophomore quarterback that played maybe two games last year. This game number 8, so that's 10 under his belt. Just putting him in these game situations, it's going to be invaluable.
I agree, and especially we talked on the field pregame. Both these teams are in a position where I believe they've solidified their playoff position. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. So any kind of learning that they can get, and once you get in, you're in. And when you're in, anything can happen.
Play is blown dead. A false start. Not going to help. 5-yard penalty. North Schuylkill right now 3rd place in 3A, District 11. And Blue Mountain 4th in 4A. So they will not cross paths in the postseason. North Schuylkill, of course, could have a rematch with Northwestern Lehigh. They could have a rematch with Notre Dame. They took out the Crusaders on the road last year in the quarterfinals. Maybe the semis, excuse me. Off the hands of Luckenbill. And it will be 4th down. Not likely to have gotten in the end zone with that one.
Exactly. I agree. I think that's one. You want him to come down with the catch just because you want to have that opportunity to see what happens. But very good coverage by North Schuylkill. And on the other side for Blue Mountain, very good play, very good throw by Kirby. You just need your other sophomore in Luckenbill to come up with that catch.
It's 4th and goal from the 9-yard line. They came up short on a previous possession on 4th down. Kirby drops back. Across the middle. It is incomplete, and there are no flags on the play. Knocked away by Luke Miller, who, as we mentioned earlier, does it all. That pass intended for Gears. This side of the field, they wanted a flag. It was not thrown.
And I think of the two that this side has argued for, I think this one you have the better argument with. I think he is grabbing him, but how much is he grabbing him? Is it just incidental? I think you go no call, it's okay. I mean, it's a close one. I understand why Blue Mountain wants it called. I get it. But again, if it's not called, I can see that as well. You know, you're talking a game of inches.
So it is 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. Handoff is to Miller, and he slides.
And I think that's all we're going to see is we're going to see him slide to be safe, to take care of himself and just keep this clock rolling.
Not in a position really to take knees. You're getting close to that, a minute 49. Blue Mountain called all their timeouts previously, so they can't stop the clock if they wanted to. But this is a way you could maybe get a few yards. Instead of taking a knee to lose 2, you get a couple of yards. Or in this case, 1. It's 2nd and 9. Handoff is to Miller. Gets around the outside, and he does slow down, and he takes a seat at the 30-yard line. That is a DM2 security 1st down.
And I'm going to share from Al DiCarlo. Luke Miller in week 5 set the rushing record, single-game rushing record for North Schuylkill with 361 yards rushing. He is, I believe, well over that tonight.
And if he isn't, he just cost himself that because he could have got –
correct.
He might have been able to go all 90 yards, let's be honest. But he got the DM2 security 1st down, and with 50 seconds left, now you can just take a knee. May have to do that one more time. And they will. We don't have the capability this evening for a sideline or a post-game interview, but we are going to announce that Luke Miller is our player of the game, D11Sports.com player of the game. Al's listening.
So I just heard over the loudspeaker, Luke Miller has just broke his previous record with 383 yards rushing tonight. And as you said, if he goes 17 more instead of falling there, he's over 400 yards.
That's a 400-yard game. And
yes.
Whether he was going to get to the end zone or not, he was going to get those 17 yards.
Yes.
That was we're good. I'm good. Let's finish this game properly, if you will.
I agree.
Luke Miller is our D11sports.com player of the game. Al, you got to drive up here next week and give him a T-shirt.
Yep, Al or Dave. It's probably going to be Al. Probably be Al. But you talk about this game and what we mentioned in pregame and what the ramifications of this game were. And you get a good look there at Luke Miller. He's still running. He's still running around like he's running with the ball.
He doesn't even look tired.
No, not at all.
I'm tired watching him.
Exactly. But I think both these teams are putting themselves in a good position for playoff time. The big thing is for Blue Mountain, are you coming out of this healthy? Where are you health-wise? Reese Miller, your lineman that you lost, that's going to be huge. But the maturation process of Cohen Kirby, I think we saw a lot of that in the second half, and we saw a lot of playmakers. Both these teams, if they can stay healthy, can make some noise in the playoffs, I believe.
Luke Miller, 34-yard touchdown rush, 52 yards, 43 yards, 73 yards. You talked about the opportunity he could have maybe gotten a 400. Don't forget, he had a 75-yard touchdown run that was called back. He scored on that drive later on. He didn't get all 75 yards of that back. Mm-hmm. But a great opportunity, a great game for him. And I think, the scoreboard notwithstanding, Matt, you had mentioned 30 to 7 at the half. They were toe-to-toe in the second half.
I agree with you, and I think that's exactly right. And does North Schuylkill maybe pull back the aggressiveness a little bit? Maybe they did. But at the same time, I'm not sure it was. I think
not until the very end.
I agree. And some adjustments with Blue Mountain that they made, they were able to get some holes for Carter Smith running-wise, and they were able to get some stops here and there. I think that was the big thing in the game. It's just they weren't able to get enough stops defensively to make this a closer game.
These are two good teams that are going to make some noise in the postseason. And again, a game like this, 42-21, you're doubled up on the score. I think if you're Blue Mountain, you have to be excited. Certainly the second half that Carter Smith put together from the ground game, the connections between Kirby and Gears in that second half, and maybe a little bit more of the maturation process for Cohen Kirby at quarterback, and of course the ground game, the game plan itself. Caden Mengel didn't have to do much through the air, but he also scored on the ground. He picked up some first downs, and that was a well-played game on the North Schuylkill side. Both teams had some silly penalties, but I thought for the most part, very well played both ways.
I agree, 100%. And as you said, I think moving forward, when necessary, I think North Schuylkill will lean on Caden Mengel a little bit more here and there, and they have the capability of getting the ball out on the perimeter with the passing game.
One more time, our keys to the game 2 hours ago were brought to you by New York Life. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact our office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. There were a lot of first downs. They were brought to you by DM2 Security. It's a locally owned and operated security company presently serving most all of Pennsylvania. They provide all phases of security services for your home and business. They offer free estimates and a very competitive pricing and superior customer service. Let DM2 Security start protecting you today. Check them out on the web at dm2security.com. It's a small price to pay for your peace of mind. And once again, today's game is brought to you by Michael Arglovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, Pennsylvania. For all your investment needs, call Michael Arglovis at 610-559-6380. Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Mentioned two more games for Blue Mountain. Home for Pottsville, and then at Tamaqua. And for North Schuylkill, at Lehighton and at Pottsville. And then it is district play. So stay tuned for all that with the rankings and the playoff brackets down the line. And stay tuned to Check out D11 Sports on social media to find out where we will be next for our game of the week. Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Had a good time.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I'll be back with Al tomorrow. We'll be in Easton. East Liberty at Easton. That'll be a good one. And then you have Phillipsburg next week.
Seems like that might be the rumor. But again, check D11 Sports and find out. So, yeah, good luck working with Al tomorrow. And see if you can talk a little bit more about his pickleball prowess.
Yeah, we will absolutely do that.
Many thanks to Sean Riley and his staff, his crew. For Madam Metro, I'm Matt Marcus. This has been the D11Sports.com High School Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine, North Schuylkill 42, Blue Mountain 21. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow.